The armies of Israel and Philistia faced each other across a silent valley, tension rising with the morning mist. From the Philistine ranks stepped Goliath, a giant covered in bronze, his voice echoing like thunder across the hills. The soldiers of Israel trembled in fear, their courage melting before the sight of the giant. Far from the battlefield, a young shepherd named David tended his father's sheep beneath the calm sky. With gentle hands and a faithful heart, David guided his flock, unaware that destiny was already calling his name. When David heard of the giant's challenge, his heart burned not with fear, but with faith. Leaving his sheep behind, he walked the dusty road toward the battlefield, his purpose clear and unwavering. At a quiet stream, David knelt and chose 5 smooth stones, small in size but mighty in faith. His brothers mocked his boldness, but David's eyes carried a calm fire they could not understand. Standing before King Saul, David spoke with humility and conviction. He would face the giant through God's strength. Saul offered his royal armor, heavy and grand, but David felt its weight belonged to another kind of battle. Removing the armor, David stood as he was, a shepherd, not a soldier, relying solely on the Lord. With only a sling and stones, he prepared to fight not by power, but by faith. He walked onto the field alone, the eyes of 2 nations fixed upon the shepherd boy. Goliath laughed, mocking the youth who dared to come without armor or sword. David lifted his gaze to heaven, whispering a prayer that echoed louder than any shout. Reaching into his pouch, he drew a single stone, the symbol of his trust in God. The sling turned in his hand, swift and sure, guided by unseen strength. The stone flew through the air like a whisper of divine purpose. Across the valley it sped, cutting through fear and doubt. The stone struck Goliath's forehead, and the giant's roar turned into silence. The mighty warrior fell face first to the ground, his pride shattered before the living God. The stone remained embedded, a mark of divine precision and victory. David stepped forward, calm as still water, and grasped the fallen giant's sword. With a single stroke, the battle ended. The Lord had delivered victory through a shepherd's hand. Terror seized the Philistines. They turned and fled, their shouts replaced by panic. The men of Israel surged forward, their courage reborn through David's faith. David gathered Goliath's armor, not as a trophy of pride, but as a testimony of faith. Carrying the giant's head, David walked toward Saul, every step echoing God's glory. Saul watched in awe, realizing that true strength was not born of armor or rank. The people shouted with joy, their hearts lifted in praise to the Lord of hosts. David knelt in quiet gratitude, his victory offered back to the one who gave it. Under the night sky, David reflected on the day, knowing it was not his hand, but God's. Before the tabernacle's glow, David stood in awe, his heart forever changed by the power of faith.